everybody. Today I'm going to be interviewing my coworker Deann for my lifespan development course. Deann, would you like to introduce your first and last name? And your relationship with me, we're both coworkers, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a few questions for you. Okay. The first question, how was your name chosen?
Oh, that's easy. My mom was going to a park when she was pregnant with me, and she saw a little girl with brown hair, and her mom was calling her Deann, Deann, and she thought it was so cute because the little girl was cute, and she named me after that little girl.
She named you after a cute little girl. That's so cute. Okay, what were things like when you were growing up?
Oh, a lot different. We grew up with a lot more space. Things weren't as crowded, and kids were outside playing during the day, and the whole neighborhood would check on you. So your mother may not know where you went, but the neighbors did. And so you could always be found, and if you did anything wrong, they would tell your mother before you even got home.
Really?
Yes.
Like the parents of another parents would come to your parents' house?
Yep.
Wait, did you have a curfew?
Well, most of us had a curfew. We had to be home by the time the street lights came on.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. What kind of house did you grow up in?
I grew up in actually the same house that I just sold. 4-bedroom house in a suburban house in what was a new housing development in 1960, but it is not new anymore, but it's still expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wait, what city?
Newark.
Nice. And you had siblings too?
Yep, I have 3 sisters.
3 sisters. You're like the oldest or the youngest? Or?
I'm the second
youngest?
Second oldest.
Okay. What were your favorite toys as a child?
Oh, well, my favorite toy was a teddy bear and a horse that were like stuffed animals. But we also I had a doll called Pat-a-Burp, and you would pat her and she'd go, Arr.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she have batteries?
No, she had a little thing in her back, and I only know because one time my dog chewed her up. And I was upset, and then about a week later I was going in the backyard and I found this weird looking thing with plastic and all these and a spring, and when I pushed it, it would go oh
my gosh, let me just open that.
It was the burper.
Oh no. Okay, did you enjoy your school and what was that like?
Yeah, I did, and it was a lot different than it is now. We probably spent more time outdoors than they do now, and we would eat on the playground or wherever, we would just go and eat something. We didn't have cafeteria.
Your mom would pack you lunch or you had school lunch?
Either, well, we did get school lunches when I got older, but in the beginning we'd have to bring lunch.
Aw, and you would eat on the playground.
And girls couldn't wear pants.
What?
No, they had to wear dresses.
Like forever?
Well, yeah, to school. I was in 5th grade, so I was like 10 when they started letting us wear pants once in a while, when if it was cold or rainy.
Oh my gosh.
But when I first started school, girls didn't wear pants except for to play in the yard and outside, but not to school.
Were you wearing uniform, or it was
no, just dresses.
Oh.
Just dresses. Girls just wore dresses. They just didn't wear pants except at home and to play in.
Oh.
And it was a big change because when it got cold, we all got
to wear pants.
Yeah, and it was and eventually, yeah. And then jeans came in style, and after that, forget it.
Okay, I'm excited about this question. Okay, it says, at what age did you start dating?
Well, I was actually almost 15, but it's because my boyfriend was also my neighbor.
Okay.
And so, because the families were close,
Uh-huh.
there was a lot of supervision.
Ah.
Otherwise, I probably would have had to have been a little bit older.
Okay, well, did you guys like go on dates or like you guys just played or?
Well, yeah, because he was like 2 years older than me. So, once he started driving, then, you know, and so, but when he started driving, I was still like 15. I wasn't old enough to drive yet.
Yeah.
But
Well, wait,
yeah.
what was your first date?
He took me out to get a milkshake from an ice cream shop, like where they have sundaes and things.
Wait, how much was the ice cream? How much was the date?
Probably $1 a piece or something. It wasn't expensive back then, but minimum wage was only $2.10.
Oh my gosh, how much was gas?
Oh well,
Like 25 cents?
yeah, because when I started driving, I could take $1 and put it in the gas tank, and it would be enough to get me around here and there for a few days.
A few days?
Yep.
$1?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, what was your first job?
My first job, I worked as a jewelry assembler. I worked for a company that
What?
sold jewelry. Yeah. It was called Blue Moon Jewelry, and he used abalone, and we made all kinds of different jewelry, and he sold it to like gift shops and things like that.
Oh,
Costume jewelry, but
wow.
yeah, so I had to, and it was good because I did it on my own at home.
Oh,
And
that's
so,
cool.
yeah, and it was a company, the guy that owned it was in the same building as my dad, had an office next to him. And he says, "Oh, my daughter makes jewelry." So he gave me a job.
Wait, how much were you getting paid?
If I remember right, I think it was like $1.50 an hour at first, the first summer. But then it went up to $2.10, I think, which was what the minimum wage was.
This was like a lot at the time.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Different times. I used to babysit for 75 cents an hour. Yep.
75 cents. That's so crazy. Okay. Do you have any advice for your grandchildren about marriage?
Well, yes and no. Yes, marriage is complicated. But in the old days, you just did it because you had to, and most women hated their husbands by the time they got older. Yes.
Yes.
And yeah, and they just dealt with it. And I personally don't go for that because, you know, if you're going to be married, you have to have somebody that respects you and that you respect. Otherwise, don't do it.
Yeah.
And that's just. And it's a lot easier to get. It's easier to get in a marriage than it is to get out. It's a little more complicated to get out of it. So, my suggestion would be, if you don't want to get married, don't. If you don't feel like it, don't do it.
That was on one of the topics in our class. It was saying how like a lot of women had to do marriage because it was like they didn't have much freedom.
No, and when I was a little girl, that's the way it was. When I was young, we were taught, because I remember
young, like what age?
Like 5. We would play wedding, and we would have our wedding day, and we'd be like, oh, and we would pretend to be girls, and we would like. Girls were taught that if you wanted to see a boy and you wanted him to like you, you would just drop your hanky on the floor and they'd bend over to pick it up. And so you would just like wait till they showed up and drop it on the floor. And this is stuff that, because
As a 5-year-old?
I remember playing that
because
we saw it on TV and it's just the way it was. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older. I think I was about 10 when women's rights started, all that stuff, and it became. And by the time I was, in high school, it was different already.
It was different. Like marriage wasn't like.
Well, a lot of people were living together, not getting married, or and there were women had more options as time went on because they could make their own money. They didn't need to, and it used to be that. That's how women took care of themselves. They had to find a rich husband. And if they didn't have a rich husband, then they didn't have anything they could do.
So, like, were the women who, like, rebelled and, like, didn't, like, go, like, marriage young, were they, like, shamed?
When they were younger, yes. Earlier. But by the time the 70s came around, it was pretty well, I mean, there was a big movement, and it was, they called it women's lib, and it was a big, and my sisters and I were, because we were all women.
Yeah.
And my dad was the only man in the house, and so we just like, oh, he's just a man, what do you expect? But, yeah, it was a lot different, and women would protest, they'd burn their bras, and they'd go around without bras. They would have big bra burning parties, and then they would go around without bras, and that was just like something that was,
this was a
nobody
message.
had ever, yeah. And so I was kind of in on all of that.
Really?
Yeah. And so, I mean, and my mom worked. My mom was a teacher. She worked full time. So, you know, it was different.
Yeah.
And but it was acceptable too.
Okay.
By then.
Wait, what did your dad do?
My dad, we had a family company that sold drafting and engineering supplies.
Oh.
And so that's what he did. It was a family thing. And so my uncles and my grandparents owned it and everything. So there was always stuff with that going on too.
Okay. Wait, okay, what are some lessons that you learned from your mother and your father?
Oh, lots. From my father, one of the best things I learned is to always be kind to people.
Supportive.
That was, you know, and to be fair. And my father used to always say, you can do whatever you want to do, but you better be prepared to pay the price. So if you want to rob a bank, you can.
Yeah.
As long as you know that you might have to stay in jail for it. Then he said, but if you do and you have to go to jail, then you can't complain about it. So, and he pushed a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah?
Yep.
And then your mother, because your mother was a teacher.
And my mom was really good about teaching us to be independent.
Yeah.
And to think for ourselves and to do things on our own.
Yeah.
And although, you know, there were things sometimes my mom couldn't fix, I learned to try. So, you know, I mean, I was pretty handy with a hammer and a saw. I was like, I think 5 years old, and they were letting me hammer nails and saw things.
That's pretty cool.
Way too early. My kids at that age, I couldn't see them sawing a finger off, but I was doing it, and they let me do it, and so I learned how to make things and do things like that on my own. Yeah.
Okay, so your parenting style, like what, like were they strict? Were they lenient? Like, were you close with them?
Well, they were conservative. I mean, they didn't really believe in like living with people and not being married, but on the other hand, they were evolving with the times. So
they were open-minded.
Yeah. And my mom was more open-minded than my father.
Yeah.
But my father, no matter what, he always came around because
you guys were girls.
He just loved us to death, and you know, so he always came around eventually. So when we wanted to get our ears pierced, he wouldn't let us because because they in those days men were taught that only hookers wore earrings.
No way.
Yeah, the pierced ears.
Really?
Yeah. And so it was like it's like no. And so I went to visit my aunt and uncle, and I got my ears pierced at the mall while I was there, and then my aunt signed for me because her name was the same. And so I came home with pierced ears. And my dad was...
Wait, at what age?
I was 16.
That's so funny.
I know. And I just said, no, it's okay. I'll only wear little bitty ones. I would nothing, and I just wore the little things for a while.
Wait, what
no
age
big danglers.
did you get your first tattoo?
Let's see. It was, I was 57 when I got my first tattoo.
Was it like a huge thing? Like, is this like what women did or no?
Well, it was moving, yes. And a lot of people my age were already getting tattoos. I did it kind of just when my father passed away. We all went together and got the same tattoo. And, you know, and one of my daughters got a tattoo when she was 18. And she put it where it wouldn't show because she didn't want my parents to see it and everything. But I was like, yeah, it's okay, go ahead. And now she's got a sleeve and
That's fun. I love that for her.
yeah.
Okay, your parent, how your parents parented you, do you think that affected, like, your relationship that you had, like, growing up, like, your boyfriend?
Yes.
Friends?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, how?
Well, because my parents were kind of, they were, the only way to explain it is respectable.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like I kind of had a role to play, as long as I didn't do anything that was too, like, out there for, you know, too scandalous or anything. So, but you know, my parents said, oh, don't do that, and I wouldn't do it. And if they told me, I didn't jaywalk till I was 18 because when I was young, they taught me you cross in a crosswalk. You don't cross where there's not. So I didn't, and I was an adult before I realized that the world wasn't going to end if I crossed the street without a sign, without a
So you lived
crosswalk.
cautiously for a while.
I did, yeah. And you know, there's a lot of things I didn't do because they didn't want me to, and that was okay with me because they weren't outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for the most part, they were fair with things. I never really got spanked a lot or anything like that.
So, like, would you say, like, you were conservative in relationships too?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, but I also, though, had a really strong streak for staying independent and sticking up.
Because of your mom?
Yeah.
It's cool.
I always made sure that I had a way out of things if something happened or, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love how your mom raised, like, strong girls.
Yeah, she did.
Right? That's so cool. Especially, like, during the time where, like, burning bras and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, what does it mean to age gracefully?
Well, when you age gracefully, it means you get older and you have more wrinkles, but you don't necessarily have to stop doing things. It means you stay physically fit enough that you can keep being active and doing things and working and, you know, and women, when I was young, a 50-year-old woman looked old.
Really?
Because she wore old dresses and had curly silver hair and, you know, and by the age of 50, women looked really, really old. And nowadays, I mean, you know, you can see it where older women dye their hair till they're in their 70s. You don't, you know, because they're working and, you know, they're out in public more.
You know, like a day over 45.
Oh, that's so nice.
What are, like, some things that you do, like to, like, age gracefully, like, mentally? Like, are you journaling? Are you?
Oh yeah, yes, I do. I journal. Oh yeah, I'm a big. I've been journaling for years.
Really? So you have, like, books and books?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, lots of them.
What do you journal?
Just thoughts on life and a big part of it is my kids and things that we do or things that, you know, I perceive. But yeah, I write a lot. I have since I was young.
So they can remember you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's fun.
I love that so much.
And it is cute to go back later. In fact, I recently just found an old journal and we were going over it, and it was just, we were just all sitting and laughing, remembering it all. But yeah, it's you know, and it's nice because eventually, you know, they will read my journals because they'll be there for them to read, and so
it's a way for them to remember you and their kids to remember you. That's so special.
It is. Well, it's really nice too because women get a bad rap. If you are in a bad marriage or an abusive marriage, your personality suffers because you snap a lot, and you know you're stressed all the time, and so your kids have to bear the brunt of it. And a lot of times women will scream and yell a lot at everybody, but it's because they're not taking care of themselves mentally. And so and in fact, with my first marriage, that's why I got out, because I did not like that I was starting to snap at the kids. I mean, and it's like, I I'm not gonna let them suffer,
Yeah.
and that's why I left.
You broke like a generational curse.
Yep.
I love that for you.
I did, because I just did not want them to have to deal with, their mom just screaming at them or yelling at them or just,
Yeah.
and so and it changed a lot.
Because you were a role model, and then that's what they would have learned.
And I went back to school, and that was a good thing for them to see too, because then they
saw you choose you.
Yep.
Wow. I love that. Well, thank you so much
Oh,
for
you're
letting
quite
me
welcome.
interview you. That concludes the video.
And I'm over 50. I'm over 50. Over 65.
Yeah.
I am well over 55.
Thank you.
Bye.